Hey, it is so cool to see you. I'm really excited to talk to you about the kind of like whirlwind of the last year you've had and all the music that you've been putting out. I'm freaking pumped for you.
Thank you. It's been crazy.
I
I've
also
been
have to say, I love your shoe wall behind you. I've been admiring it since we first got on Zoom.
Thank you. Um, Everyone always asks about it. It's literally just my dad. I forced him to build me some IKEA shelves. And then I just started stacking up all my shoes because they were just getting clumped in my closet. And I'm like, I need to put these on display or something.
That's literally what my shoes look like right now, all thrown in a corner in my closet. My boyfriend's constantly like, "Can you do something about this?" But I
You're
have
like,
nowhere to put them.
I can't do anything about it. Unless you build me shelves, I can't do anything about it.
There we go. That's actually a genius idea. Next time we talk, there's going to be a shoe shelf behind me instead.
You have to. Yeah.
So, congratulations is in order because other than the fact you've had a whirlwind of like year or two, you also are nominated for iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Yes, I'm so excited. Crazy. 3.
You're like,
So
yeah, you're
weird.
up for 3. Best new pop artist, best cover song for Conan Gray's Heather, which I
Yeah.
listened to. Beautiful. I love that song.
Yeah, me too. It's so good.
And also dance song of the year. You have like so many different categories that you're in.
Yeah. It's very like a huge dream of mine to be nominated for awards. So whenever like that kind of thing happens with award shows or anything, it's just like very exciting. I don't know why. I was really pumped about those.
I would be pumped too. I love awards. I think we all love awards because it's like, oh, people are saying, hey, good job. You did good.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. I'm excited.
Okay, so your latest single, She's All I Want to Be.
Yeah.
Very emotional, by the way, because I think a lot of women and even men understand the idea of like wanting to be someone else because somebody that you're in love with or you have a crush on ends up liking someone who's not you.
Yeah.
And so listening to this song brings back a lot of memories for me, like being in high school and being like, oh my gosh, he doesn't love me, but I'm in love with him. I don't understand what's wrong. And he totally likes this other girl who's nothing like me.
Yeah. Totally.
So it's like
Yeah,
a very emotional song that you wrote.
it's crazy because I think when you put like a beat to a sad song, it can sometimes like distract from the fact that it's like, really sad. And I think like the song actually initially started as a ballad, a piano ballad. So it's crazy how it's like translated into this like upbeat song that people are like screaming. Because it's like it's really emotional. And I was like really feeling the depths of comparison on the internet and jealousy for the first time, which I think is a really awkward and uncomfortable thing to talk about, is jealousy, because it's like no one wants to feel jealous of anyone and no one wants to admit that they feel jealous. And even if that's not a normal feeling, it's like it happens. So I really wanted to like talk about it because I was like, I hate talking about this, so I want to see what it feels like in a song.
Absolutely. Jealousy is a really hard topic to talk about, but we all get jealous, whether it's about somebody who we have a crush on or it's somebody that we see, especially in the social media era of our lives. And we
Totally.
compare ourselves constantly. So, like, jealousy is a totally normal emotion to feel. So, to
Yeah.
hear that in a song, I think is also what brings back all of these like emotions and
Yeah.
thoughts and memories that because you can relate to it.
Totally. And I think it's really crazy right now with social media, because obviously it's so unbelievably toxic. And coming from someone, who has a social media, I'm like, every single person that you see looks like they're better in some way. I don't know what it is. It's just like everyone's highlight reels are posted on the internet. And we always talk about how it's like, but our brains still can't adjust to the fact that it's not real.
Absolutely. I mean,
Everything
it's
always feels real and like
it does.
and greener on the other side. Just always everything, I think that comparison thing just like happens way more than we think it does subconsciously when we're just like relentlessly scrolling.
Absolutely. It's just part of our culture now. So hearing you talk about it is amazing. It's also kind of amazing because I've read interviews of you where you said that you're not really an emotional person and you're not very sensitive despite being a Cancer, which is a total Cancer thing to be very sensitive and emotional.
Yeah.
And all of your songs that you write though are there's so many feelings in your
Yeah.
songs. And like when you sing it, you feel those emotions. So how do you go in and write a song like She's All I Want to Be without
Yeah.
being that emotional? Like, how do you get into that vortex of emotion?
It's very funny because I'm like the worst at talking about like feelings. So if someone were to meet me, it's like really hard for me to like crack open and like open up to someone. And I think I hate talking about it out loud. So my only way to actually like, process it is if I write. And that's why my songs end up being like the whole emotional side of me. It's like everything that I've been like winding up inside of me for forever just gets, like splattered onto a piece of paper. And I think that's the cool part, is that just like that's my outlet, and that's my way to actually feel things and talk about it and create a perspective on it.
It's
So
therapeutic in a way, right? Like you feel
therapeutic.
so good afterwards. Like, okay, it's all out now. I don't need to be emotional every day anymore.
Totally. And I think it's kind of nice for me because then I can have a side of me that's just normal and isn't thinking and overthinking about every single person in the scenario. There's like a part of me that's like able to just like live and then write. There's like two different, I don't know. It's hard to
No,
describe.
I think that's a really cool aspect. I wish that I had an outlet like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Going off of your whole overthinking scenario, I read a tweet that you had written saying that you were listening to 29 different mixes to this song and could not pick one that you liked.
So I have like this thing where if I hear, I don't know why, like I'll ask, I could show you basically all 29 mixes and they sound the same, except my ear picks up on just like little, like the way the drum was reverbing and affecting my voice. I'm like, oh, it like drives me insane how whatever psycho I am about it. I was analyzing it to like the bone. And I basically went from like one mixer. I went on Zoom and I, mixed with him for 3.5 hours. And then we switched to another mixer. And then we did 28 mixes, like adjusting the volume of the drums and the reverbs and the, everything just so it like sounds perfect. And then by the end, I was like, something doesn't sound right. And my manager was like, girl, you gotta make up your mind. So I was like, can we go back to the demo? And he was like, sure.
Stop. So all of that just to go back to
the demo. Crazy, right?
That's kind of great in a way because you feel such a connection to it and you want it to sound a specific way. And you have the control to do that, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. And there's always, you never want to lose the little bit of magic that's in one, like the original copy. There's always a little bit of magic in there that can be stripped away if you don't be careful with it. So
do you think you'll ever release the ones that you didn't pick just to be like, this is what I see is different in these, and this is why I'm crazy about it?
No, because literally no one would notice the difference. Like I was sitting in the car, like getting so mad. Like I was like, this is hilarious. My mom was sitting next to me. She's like driving. I'm like, okay, mom, you're going to listen to 3 mixes. Which one's your favorite? And I'm like blasting it. Like this is like drums, like smashing in our faces, whatever. And, I'm like, oh, do you hear that? And she's like, no, like I hear no difference between any of them. I was like, I'm going insane.
So this is also the second single off of your album.
Yeah.
When is the album coming out? Do we know?
There's no release date yet, but soon.
Soon. The one word that we all hate to hear is soon.
Soon, for sure.
Do you have another single lined up? Because based off the picture that you had posted that looked like a list of all the songs that are going to be on the album, you had a bunch that were like super crossed out. And then these 2 weren't. And then there was one other song that was only slightly crossed out. Is that the next single?
The thing is, I haven't quite made up my mind yet on what the next single is going to be. I think I kind of want to let my fans decide. I think I might, tease a couple and just see which one they want next. We'll see.
I kind of like that idea.
I kind of like it too, because I'm like, I don't want to decide. I don't know. It's kind of nice because they'll just like give me their honest opinion. So might as well let them do the picking.
So you clearly have a little bit of a struggle deciding what songs you want to release.
Super indecisive. Yes.
So how many songs do you kind of just have banked right now that either maybe one day we'll hear, also some that you're probably like never going to hear and you just know that right off the bat, like, no, this is not going to happen?
Oh, out of the ones I don't want either, I probably have about 56 songs that I've written this summer.
Oh, wow.
That I like and I'll probably narrow it down to 13. So there's gonna be like there's a whole bunch I have that I will never light a day ever. So
Is that just like depending on the day and like your mood and how you feel when you're listening, or is that like a very specific sound that you're looking for and you'll just be like, this doesn't really fit this vibe for this album?
I mean, you never really know with a song. Like you're going in and you're basically cooking something from scratch. So it's like basically going into your cupboard and being like, oh, let's see which one works, and like literally just putting in a whole bunch of random shit and being like, mwah. And then if it tastes good, it tastes good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You never see it again, right? That's kind of like, it's kind of like what a song is.
Okay.
And that's what I did this entire summer. It's just like a whole bunch of experiment and, putting random ideas out and just seeing if they connect or not. Like all the production, the lyrics and the melodies and everything has to come together. And then you end up with your favorites.
I kind of love the way that you describe that, because that makes it so that I kind of understand it better, because I can cook.
Yeah.
Something's not so great, but I can cook and I know what that's like, but I've never made a song before. I have no idea where I would even start.
Totally. And it's not like there's not like a list of how you're supposed to do it or what you're supposed to do. You kind of just go in and start, which is weird. Like that's how do you even create a song? Sometimes I'll leave a session, I'm like, how did we do that? Like it's weird.
I mean, you've been doing this for quite a while now, though, because you've been writing songs for years now at this point. Yeah. And I know that you've obviously through that written some songs that you're probably not proud of, and other ones that you love.
Yeah.
Which one would you say is like your least favorite song that you just look back and you just cringe and you're like, why did I do that?
There's a lot. I mean, I started writing when I was 13. So I have a lot of songs on the internet that I'm like, ooh, you were in your angsty teen phase for sure. Yeah, and then there's a lot that I just like, thank God I didn't release them, because that would have been weird. It's all a process. You have to trust the process.
But it's got to be kind of cool, because all of those are on the internet that you can look back and see where you started and where you are now, and even the situations that you were in that you probably don't even remember anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can. That's the neat part. There's two parts where it's like, oh God, and then there's a part where it's like, this is sick. Like I've documented my entire emotional roller coaster through high school, which is weird.
So tell me about the music video. I feel like this is where you get to do all of your dancing, which is how you started getting into entertainment to begin with, was dancing. You're a phenomenal dancer. I do not know how you bend the way that you bend, because let me tell you, girl, I bend down and there's sometimes where I'm like, I don't know if I can get up.
Yeah. My mom actually stretched me before I was 2. I think that's why I'm so bent. Yeah, I don't know why.
Like little baby stretches, like with your legs in it.
No, but on my hips. But I think, I've been doing dance my entire life. So it's just something that you like, when I pick something that I like want to get good at, I'll like put time into it. And I used to be terrible. I used to be like a horrible dancer. And then I just wanted to start getting places with it. So I just worked like insanely hard. I used to train like 40 hours a week in dance. Which is wild.
That's a full-time job.
It was a full-time job. It was crazy. Yeah.
So then with the music videos, is that where, because it seems like that's where you really get to bring that dance back, and like you get to have the creative liberty to go back to, I guess you can kind of say like your first love.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. Those are like my 2 favorite ways of expression, are singing and dancing. So I feel very lucky that I can, write all my music and make that my vision, and then also just like branch out into dancing as well. So it's really cool. I'm very lucky.
I'm just always fascinated watching you, like I said, because I'm like, I don't know how she does that.
Thank you.
So you're going to be doing a lot of performing this year. Yeah. You'll be doing your own shows as well as touring with Shawn Mendes.
Yes.
Huge.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Wow.
I'm sure right now is a lot of planning phases for both of them. Yeah. What can you say is like, since you haven't done both yet, what could you say so far is like the difference between doing your own shows and opening for someone like Shawn Mendes? Because there's got to be a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, I mean, first off, my rooms are going to be definitely more intimate. So it's going to be like me and my closest fans. Like, I think, which is like the coolest part, is like they're gonna know every song, they're gonna be screaming their faces off, and then I get to do that all year long, and then I get to finish the year getting to play like places I've dreamed of playing in. And I think Sean's been such an idol to me for so long, so it's really a crazy opportunity, and I just literally can't wait. He's like the sweetest person ever. I'm so excited to be sharing the stage with such a good guy.
I'm excited for you. So I know we have to wrap. So this is going to be the last thing because I have to know.
Okay.
Speaking of, being in places that you've always dreamed of, you played Madison Square Garden. Yes. And that's huge. You also had said that you have like a list of things and you met all 4 of those things last year, which is also freaking massive. So what's new on your list of things that you want to accomplish this year?
What were they? I think there's a few of them that I will only manifest into existence. But I think there's just like, I want to perform an award show one day, like in the US. I performed at one in Europe before, but in the US would be really cool. I mean, opening up for a big artist was one of mine as well, which is crazy. I think it's honestly just like, I really believe in manifesting. And I think that if you just like put all your goals down and you actually like speak it into existence and you work for it, I don't know. It's cool to just like document and then see where you get. So
absolutely. Well, this is me manifesting everything that you have written down that you have for this year, because you're on a roll already. You accomplished everything last year, so this year will be even better than that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And thank you so much for sitting down with me. This was great. I can't wait to talk to you again, because I'm sure that, in a few months, you're going to have a million other things that we get to talk about.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.